My name is Benjamin. The company is called Trialtree, and we do patient recruitment for clinical trials. We've basically flipped the recruitment normal way of doing it by making an open source platform for academia, basic research that can be used by hospitals, universities, PhD students. And then that way we can provide something very nice and free to all of the great researchers out there, which brings in a lot of projects and potential participants. And then those two factors, happy sites and researchers and engaged participants, we then utilize that to help sponsors as well find participants. So it's Trialtree. We are rooted in Denmark, but are expanding at the moment to multiple countries in Europe. That's at least what we're experiencing. We've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's getting more and more clear that this is the way forward. At least that's how we see it, because it's very easy for sites to use. They use it on their own projects already, and it's a way of having a lot of engaged participants. They've already maybe tried to participate in another trial. They really want to be part of it, and you end up having like a live platform and not just a long list of potential participants. And that means that the engagement rate is very high, the dropout rate is very low, and it's very quick to actually execute on the recruitment because you have such a big pool of people who are ready to participate. So we do believe it's the future of recruitment. Yeah, I would say one thing is because it is digital, we also want to collect health data, and we want to match people based on those health data with the inclusion and exclusion criteria. And it's always so difficult to not only getting access to the data, the health data, but also matching it with the criteria, because some data are at the hospital, some are at the GPs, some data no one knows about except for the participant themselves. And you have to get that in many unstructured ways, or at least in different structures, and then match that with the structure of the trials. So there's something in that matching that is just extremely difficult, but at the same time, if you solve it, you just remove such a big pain point for both the participants, who doesn't have to figure out themselves, but also for the researchers, obviously, who won't have too many screen failures and won't spend too much time on not eligible participants. I mean, to be honest, they love it. They really, really like it, especially because in academia, no one is there to help them. Everyone is looking at the sponsors and CROs. How can we help them? How can we get into big pharma, etc.? No one is looking at how can we help this PhD student finding 8 subjects for their research project. So by delivering a platform to them, they are extremely happy that someone wants to help. And that also means that they take that karma and brings it forward into the system. So suddenly when they have more trials or a colleague, they refer us. But at the same time, if a sponsor goes to that researcher and says, hey, can you help us with this trial? They would usually say, yes, can I please use Trialtree to recruit, because we love them and they've helped us so much. So it's a very nice way of giving something to researchers who don't have that many options, and then usually that flourishes into bigger collaborations as well. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there are already many initiatives. Many people try, both within the governments and the different regions, and also private stakeholders try to have these big data sets and give something to academia and sponsors. Often it's also that they don't know it exists. Like academia, they don't know about the opportunity. It takes them maybe 5-10 years before they felt, oh, I could have done that. So I think that's also something about communication and knowing about the opportunities, which is in every industry, no one can know about everything. So I do believe that big data sets and making it more accessible for researchers is great. But I actually think there are already quite some solutions, but it's just not communicated that well. The same thing with clinical trials. Lots of participants want to participate. They just don't know where to look or how to start. But there are a big pool of projects. So there's something in the communication that's very difficult to solve, I think. It's hard to not mention AI and how it's reflecting, the process of making protocols and doing feasibility. And patient recruitment, matching health data, figuring out prospecting, how will it go, etc., etc. So I think AI in many ways is a big trend, and then a negative trend that I'm seeing as well is that we have this thing within patient recruitment that it used to be the hospitals that would find the patients, and now the hospitals are being told to get the patients out of the hospitals and get them to the GPs or into their own homes. But at the same time, the GPs have so much work to do. They are being told to be more efficient, etc. So it ends up everyone kind of pushes the patient further down the road, but no one has the time to actually inform them about the trial. So I think that's a negative trend, but it's also, I think, natural, because this won't survive on mouth to mouth. There has to be digital ways like Trialtree or other platforms as well, where you can kind of see everything. But yeah, positive trends, I think AI will save a lot of time. It will help a lot of trials go from idea to execution. Also, a lot of the smaller trial teams and biotech firms, they have shorter road for actually getting something out there. So that's very positive, I think.